May I have your attention, please? We will start our event. Now. Szanowne Panie, Szanowni Panowie, dostojni goście, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. My name is Agata Grochowska and I am Vice Consul at the Consulate General of the Republic of Poland in Chicago. And it is my great pleasure welcome all of you tonight at the Person of the Year of Dziennik Związkowy Gala. I would like to thank you, all of you, for joining us tonight. Now I would like to invite on the podium Mr. Łukasz Dudka, General Manager, Polish Daily News, Dziennik Związkowy. Proszę bardzo.
Thank you, Madam Council. Welcome. Good evening. Dobry wieczór Państwu. It is a great honor and a personal pleasure to welcome you this evening to the Consulate General of Poland in Chicago, the most prestigious Polish address in this city. And Madam Council, I will say like 100 times tonight, thank you for opening this remarkable place to us and for allowing Dziennik Związkowy to celebrate this special occasion here. There could be no more fitting venue to mark another anniversary of Polish daily news and to honor achievements of a truly extraordinary man. So thank you so much. Now, please forgive me for not introducing all the distinguished guests who are here tonight. I'll only mention a few names, and let me start with Mrs. Regina Jurkowska, Consul General of the Republic of Poland in Chicago. Pani Consul, dziękuję bardzo. And I want to welcome the entire staff of the Consulate. Konsul Agata Grochowska, Konsul Renata Lalik-Gałan, Konsul Oskar Grądziel, Konsul Bernadetta Pałka-Maciejewska. Witam was wszystkich bardzo serdecznie i bardzo dziękuję za gościnność. Now let me welcome Mr. Dick Durbin, Democratic Senator from the state of Illinois. Senator, we're honored to have you. Thank you so much. While we're still waiting for Secretary of State Alexei Chabulis, let me welcome Illinois Controller Mrs. Susana Mendoza. Let me welcome Cook County Treasurer, our own Maria Papas. I've mentioned her again. Mrs. Samantha Nugent is with us, Chicago's 39th Ward Alderman. And we should have two mayors. George D. Alpogianis, Mayor of Niles. I don't know if he made it. And Mr. Paolo Tevez, the mayor of Franklin Park, Illinois, also said that he's going to be here. I don't know if he is. Now, let me welcome Mrs. Maria Dmitriev-Kapeniak, President of Ukrainian Congress Committee of America. And your presence has extremely special meaning today, only a couple of days after the 4th anniversary of Russia's savage invasion of Ukraine. So we very much appreciate you, Mr. Bandrivsky. Thank you so much for honoring us with your presence. Now let me welcome Mr. Hubert J. Choromsky, National President of Polish American Congress, and Mrs. Jolanta Grochowska, President of Polish American Congress Illinois Divisions. And ladies and gentlemen, both of these positions were previously held by Mr. Frank Spuli. Let me welcome Mrs. Alicja Kuklińska, National Secretary of the Polish National Alliance. And a special welcome, extra warm welcome for Alicja Ota, Editor-in-Chief of Dziennik Związkowy, Polish Daily News. Now, Polish Daily News gives out this award since 2014, so the club is slowly expanding. Now, let me welcome the previous Persons of the Year of Polish Daily News who should be here. Katarzyna Romanowska of the You Can Be My Angel Foundation is making her way here, but we already have Małgorzata Kot, the director of Polish Museum of America. Barbara Halko of Polish Studying Organization. Jacek Niemczyk, General Manager of WPNA 103.1. Polish American Medical Society, represented tonight by Dr. Piotr Brukacz. Polish Teachers Association of America, pani prezes Urszula Gawlik. Polish Roman Catholic Union of America and its president Agnieszka Bastrzyk. And I said I'll get back to Maria Pavas, Person of the Year 2021. And now joining the club this year, the President of the Polish National Alliance and Honorary President of the Polish American Congress, Mr. Frank J. Spuli. We welcome all of you, and we are extremely happy that you took out some of your precious time to celebrate this event here with us. 2025 was a very good year for our newspaper. It's truly a milestone year. In March, after months of careful planning and hard work, we completed a full redesign of Dziennik Związkowy. It was a tremendous team-wide effort, and the result is a modern publication with new relevant sections and 64 beautifully designed pages. That is 50% more than any other Polish publication in Chicago. And I'm extremely proud of this achievement, and I want to express my sincere gratitude to our editor-in-chief, Alicja Ota, for her leadership and determination in guiding us through this ambitious process that from start to finish. Alicja, thank you so much. And at the same time, we have significantly strengthened our digital presence. Today, we have more than 22,000 followers on Facebook alone, twice as many as any other Polish newspaper here in Chicago. In the past year, our videos were viewed over 100 times on YouTube, and, believe it or not, over 1 million views on Facebook. We now successfully monetize both of those platforms. And I'm really especially proud of the grant we have received from the Senate of Republic of Poland under the Senat Polonia 2025 program. It was a 12-month project that touched literally every aspect, every area of our work, from journalism to classified advertising. And thanks to this support, we are able to monetize our equipment, modernize our equipment, and investing in AI-powered solutions. And Madam Consul, I'm coming back to you again. We would be very grateful if you could convey our sincere appreciation to the Marshal Senate of Republic of Poland on our behalf. Thank you so much. And I want to thank you, dear friends, again. Thank you so much, because every time you pick up a newspaper, every time you visit dziennikzwiązkowy.com, every time you place an ad or engage with our content on social media, you support our mission and help keep our work relevant. And for that, I'm deeply thanking you. I'm deeply thankful. Thank you so much. But tonight, we are here, however, for a very special reason, to honor a truly extraordinary man. First and foremost, I must say how happy I am that we can finally present this award to Mr. Frank Spuli, because believe me, it took a fair amount of convincing to persuade him to accept it. Really. But let me say this to you, Mr. Spuli, directly and publicly, on the record. You have earned it, and no one deserves it more. Later tonight, you'll hear about his decades of service to Polish American Congress, to Polish National Alliance, about countless meetings, advocacy efforts, and tireless work on behalf of our community. But I'd like to focus on something that strikes me the most about Frank Spuli. It is easy to love a country that you are born in. It is easy to love a country that is prosperous and admired. But Frank Spula was not born in Poland, and the Poland he fell in love with was neither prosperous nor free. Yet he loved it, and often more deeply than many who were born there. He loved it because his parents taught him to love it, and he loved it because, ladies and gentlemen, he loved you, the Polish-American community, and that, to me, is something worth a true admiration, and that is something that we should hold up as an example to our children. And there's one more thing I want to mention, because everyone knows Frank Spula, right? Everyone has an opinion about him. Yeah? If you say Frank Spula, yes, I know who he is, yes, I know him, but honestly, only a small group of people has the privilege, yes, the privilege of truly knowing him. His sense of humor, his passions, his hobbies. Like the man of cars, for example. You could talk about cars forever. He's a car collector, right, Mr. Spula? Not everybody knows that, but once you are allowed into that inner circle, he's a totally different man. And then you can see his determination, his resilience, his ability to handle criticism, and that's a unique skill. Handle criticism and transform it into a positive energy. His rare talent for getting things done, for connecting people, for bringing out the best in those people. And I know this because I've watched him for quite a few years now. So, in a moment, others will share their reflections on Frank Spula. And I would like to start with you, Madam Consul. So, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me, Regina Jurkowska, Consul General of the Republic of Poland, to the podium.
Szanowni Państwo, ladies and gentlemen, I'm truly delighted that this year's Person of the Year of Dziennik Związkowy Gala is taking place at the Konsulacie Generalnym of the Republic of Poland in Chicago. Dziennik Związkowy is the oldest Polish-American newspaper in Chicago. For many years, it has brought together the Polish community, published articles on current events, and conducted interviews with the most prominent figures of the Polish diaspora, as well as from Poland. Just a few weeks ago, such an interview was given by the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Poland, Mr. Radosław Sikorski, who paid a visit to Chicago this month. The Consulate General has long cooperated with Dziennik Związkowy, recognizing its vital role in fostering an informed and engaged community. During today's ceremony, we will honor with the title of the Person of the Year of Dziennik Związkowy an outstanding leader of the Polish-American community, the long-time president of the Polish-American Congress and the Polish National Alliance, Mr. Frank Spula. Mr. Spula served the Polish community for nearly 5 decades, including 2 decades as president of the Polish-American Congress. He is a dedicated Polish-American activist who devoted most of his life to public service, integrating Polish-American communities, meeting with American officials and politicians, and safeguarding Poland's national interests. In Chicago, he organized important high-level meetings that served Poland's interests in the United States and promoted knowledge about Poland within the American community. I greatly appreciate Frank's commitment to strengthening Polish-American relations and to representing the needs of the Polish-American community in the United States, Congress and Senate, and also his engagement as a representative of the United States in Poland. Dear Frank, please accept my heartfelt congratulations and deepest appreciation on receiving the title of the Person of the Year of Dziennik Związkowy. Your work is an inspiration to our entire community. Thank you. in the office of the President of the Republic of Poland from Secretary of State Agnieszka Jędrzak. Do uczestników gali Człowieka Roku 2025 Dziennika Związkowego. Szanowni Państwo, w imieniu Prezydenta Rzeczypospolitej Polskiej, pana Karola Nawrockiego, pragnę przekazać wyrazy uznania oraz serdeczne pozdrowienia wszystkim Państwu obecnym na gali Człowieka Roku 2025 organizowanej przez Dziennik Związkowy. Dzisiejsze spotkanie jest nie tylko świętem środowiska polonijnego, lecz także symbolicznym podkreśleniem siły i znaczenia wspólnoty, która od pokoleń pielęgnuje polskość poza granicami ojczyzny. Tegoroczny laureat Nagrody Człowieka Roku 2025, pan Frank Spula, wieloletni prezydent Kongresu Polonii Amerykańskiej w latach 2005-2025, zapisał się jako lider konsekwentny, odpowiedzialny i głęboko oddany sprawom Polonii oraz Rzeczypospolitej. 20-letnia kadencja na czele Kongresu to czas intensywnej działalności, budowania dialogu oraz umacniania pozycji Polonii jako ważnego partnera w relacjach międzynarodowych. Dzisiejsze wyróżnienie stanowi w pełni zasłużony wyraz uznania dla tej służby. Jako prezydent Kongresu Polonii Amerykańskiej pan Frank Spula nie tylko kierował największą organizacją polonijną w Stanach Zjednoczonych, lecz także systematycznie wzmacniał jej rolę jako istotnego uczestnika debaty publicznej. Pod jego przewodnictwem Kongres rozwijał struktury regionalne, integrował różnorodne środowiska polonijne oraz podejmował działania na rzecz obrony dobrego imienia Polski i Polaków. Był rzecznikiem spraw ważnych dla Polonii, od kwestii wizowych i obywatelskich po wsparcie edukacji polonijnej i organizacji młodzieżowych. Zaangażowanie pana Spuli wykraczało poza działalność organizacyjną. Aktywnie uczestniczył w życiu publicznym, zabierając głos w sprawach istotnych dla relacji polsko-amerykańskich oraz dla Polonii w amerykańskiej przestrzeni politycznej. Wspierał przedsięwzięcia sprzyjające umacnianiu strategicznego partnerstwa między Polską a Stanami Zjednoczonymi, budował relacje z przedstawicielami administracji i Kongresu USA, a także mobilizował środowiska polonijne do aktywnego udziału w procesach demokratycznych. Dzięki temu głos Polonii był wyraźnie słyszalny i uwzględniany w debacie publicznej. W imieniu Prezydenta Rzeczypospolitej Polskiej składam podziękowania za wieloletnią współpracę z Kancelarią Prezydenta Rzeczypospolitej Polskiej, która przyczyniła się do umacniania więzi między Polską a Polonią oraz do wspierania działań służących podtrzymywaniu tożsamości narodowej, języka i tradycji. Dzięki zaangażowaniu pana Franka Spuli możliwa była sprawna i regularna wymiana informacji pomiędzy środowiskami polonijnymi a najwyższymi władzami Rzeczypospolitej. Nie mniej istotny był rozwijany przez lata dialog i współdziałanie z Instytutem Pamięci Narodowej. W jego ramach upowszechniano wiedzę o najnowszej historii Polski wśród Polonii amerykańskiej, organizowano konferencje, wystawy i spotkania edukacyjne, a także inicjatywy poświęcone bohaterom walki o niepodległość oraz ofiarom totalitaryzmu XX wieku. Działania te odegrały ważną rolę w kształtowaniu świadomości historycznej młodego pokolenia oraz w przeciwdziałaniu zniekształceniom narracji dotyczącej dziejów Polski. Składając raz jeszcze serdeczne gratulacje laureatowi, życzę dalszych sukcesów w działalności publicznej, a wszystkim Państwu satysfakcji z podejmowanych inicjatyw oraz nieustającej dumy z bycia częścią wielkiej wspólnoty Polaków na całym świecie. Łączę wyrazy szacunku. Agnieszka Jędrzak.
Thank you, Madam Council. So that letter mentioned the relationship of Mr. Spula with the Institute of National Remembrance, and that relationship goes way back, several presidents back. Relationship with now President of Poland, Karol Nawrocki, is a special one that is remembered on both sides of Atlantic. And we have received, ladies and gentlemen, another letter from now Vice President of the Institute of National Remembrance, Mr. Karol Polejowski, and let me read that one also. Szanowny Panie Prezesie, z okazji uhonorowania Pana tytułem Człowieka Roku 2025, przyznawanym przez redakcję Dziennika Związkowego Polish Daily News, proszę przyjąć moje najserdeczniejsze gratulacje oraz wyrazy uznania wobec całokształtu działalności publicznej. 2 dekady pracy na stanowisku prezesa Kongresu Polonii Amerykańskiej to czas konsekwentnego wzmacniania pozycji środowisk polonijnych w Stanach Zjednoczonych oraz umacniania relacji polsko-amerykańskich. Pańska działalność oparta na dialogu, współpracy i odpowiedzialności za wspólne dziedzictwo znacząco przyczyniła się do zwiększenia roli Polaków i Polonii w życiu politycznym USA. Szczególnie należy tu przypomnieć Pańskie zaangażowanie na rzecz włączenia Polski do programu bezwizowego przy zwiększeniu obecności wojsk amerykańskich na terytorium kraju. Instytut Pamięci Narodowej wysoko ceni wieloletnią współpracę z Kongresem Polonii Amerykańskiej pod Pańskim kierownictwem. Szczególnym przykładem tej kooperacji była prezentacja w Chicago wystawy Szlaki Nadziei Odyseja Wolności, która spotkała się z dużym zainteresowaniem środowisk polonijnych. Przyznane Panu wyróżnienie jest wyrazem uznania nie tylko dla osobistych osiągnięć, lecz także dla idei służby narodowej, wspólnocie, której zarówno Pan osobiście, jak i Kongres Polonii Amerykańskiej pozostajecie wierni. Życzę dalszych sukcesów, satysfakcji z podejmowanych działań oraz pomyślności w realizacji kolejnych inicjatyw na rzecz Polonii w Stanach Zjednoczonych i umacniania więzi między Polonią a USA. Łączę serdeczne pozdrowienia. Karol Polejowski, wiceprezes Instytutu Pamięci Narodowej.
We're going to switch now to English permanently. Our next speaker will be Senator Dick Durbin. Mr. Durbin sent us a letter, but instead of reading that up, I will let you speak. Senator.
Well, I sent a letter because I didn't know if I could be here in person, but luckily the Senate schedule gave me a chance. I just came directly from O'Hare, flying in here, and that's why I didn't even have a red tie. I know that my tie may be neutral, but my heart is with you, and I'm honored to be here. I'm at a point in my political career where I reflect on things that I've witnessed that I think are part of history, and I think of Frank in this context. There was a time that some of you with gray hair may remember, as I do, when there was a day called Captive Nations Day. It was in Chicago, you know what I'm talking about, where the nations all around Europe, who had been subjugated by the Soviet Union and by Russians, came together and really prayed for the moment when they could return to freedom and democracy. We used to meet, it was always in February or March, I know it was cold as could be. We'd be out there waving our flags and making our speeches about a free Lithuania and a free Poland. And many times it was just a dream that we didn't know we'd realize in our lifetime. Think about it, though. Think about it for so many of us. It came true. The dream came true. Freedom and opportunity was there. And in the process of emerging as free nations, there's a bond, a common experience that really brought these nations together. I've seen that today in the gatherings that we've had for our friends from the Ukrainian community. Hold up your hands, our friends from the Ukrainian community who are here tonight. Thank you. And I want to tell you, Frank, don't be afraid. You're so shy.
He's a Lithuanian. I'm Lithuanian too.
Well, so am I. The thing is, when we gather in the Ukrainian village, we're all one. And a special thank you to the people of Poland. Because when this war started 4 years ago in Ukraine, it was the people of Poland who opened their doors to so many people from Ukraine who had nowhere else to go. And one of the Polish officials told me, he said, we don't call them refugees, they're part of the family, they're our neighbors. That is an amazing demonstration of caring and kindness from the Polish people. And we've seen that over the years. And Frank, I know that you believe as I do that one of the most important events in modern memory is when Poland became part of NATO. March 12th, 1999, that was the date that happened. I knew that was happening that day because there was a group of us in Washington who were pushing hard for it. Members of Congress from Poland and members of Congress who supported NATO membership from Poland and other countries. Olsztyn, who was the senator from the state of Maryland, Dan Rostenkowski, so many others gathered at the Polish embassy to announce the membership of NATO. We say that Poland is now part of that alliance, and that's our insurance policy for the future. And then they surprised us. There were about 10 of us, and gave each of us a gift. The gift was a Polish cavalry sword, a real sword. It's the only one that was ever given as a Roman Congress. Some people wanted to use one of them. I had this, and I thought there's only one place for this to go. That's the Polish National Museum, and I had it donated there. Frank, I want to tell you, it's not easy to be the head of a group, a large group, a diverse group, a group with so many opinions and so many experts. But you've done it, and you've done it with class. And I think the fact that you're being honored for 20 years plus of service to your community is important. We may not see eye to eye on American politics, but we see eye to eye when it comes to Poland and Lithuania, the Baltic states, and so many other values like NATO. I thank you for always being my friend. The door is always open, the line is always open to communicate with me the feelings of the Polish people. I'm honored to represent you, and I come here tonight and say congratulations.
Thank you so much. Senator Dick Durbin, great advocate of Poland and Polish matters here in the United States. Thank you so much. We're honored to have you here. Our next speaker will be Person of the Year 2021, Cook County Treasurer Maria Papas.
Thank you so much. You know, when I met Frank, he had dark hair and a mustache, and I had dark hair. So this has been going on for 40 years. You know, this newspaper and the radio show and the community is Frank's family. It is his children, it is his wife, it is his mother and father who have passed, and he has treated everyone like his child. And I recall early on going into his office, and when you would talk to him about anything having to do with Poland, it was with great passion, but it was also beyond the 5 senses that anybody has. Frank has a 6th sense about Poland. He's like a little snake going through the grass. And don't mess with him with regard to anything on Poland because you will get bitten. Is that fair? No, I won't call you a boa constrictor, but he's close. He is so passionate about this country. He's passionate about the Polish schools, the Polish dance groups, the Highlanders, okay, the Polish Museum, the PNA, the PAC, everything. The churches, the Archbishop, the bishops, anything that has anything to do with anything that is red and white. It's about Frank Spuli. So Frank, your whole family's gathered here tonight. Your children, your grandchildren, the next generation of Polish people who come to America. And I can tell you this, there is a big difference between being born in a foreign country and being a Polish American or a Greek American. So I speak to you, and I know that Greek Americans are more passionate about Greece than Greeks. And so I say to you, I know how passionate you are about your country. I wish you long life. I wish that your family continues to gather around you, to welcome you, to care for you, and that the next generation has the great virtue that I have known to know you and to have your friendship. You've always been there for me. And you know what? I'll always be your little sister. Part of your family.
Thank you so much, Maria Papas, Cook County Treasurer, another great friend of Poland in Poland. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please allow
somebody who you already know very well, Susanna Mendoza, Illinois State Controller.
Good evening. I put my glasses on so I don't miss a word.
Yes.
But good evening, and thank you so much to all of you for joining us today to celebrate this, as Lucas said very eloquently, extraordinary man. He's our friend, but he's a leader, not just for Poland, not just for America, but for both and for Polish Americans. It's an honor to truly be here today with the Consul General and the Consular Corps. Thank you for opening up your home to all of us for such an auspicious occasion. We are here to congratulate our friend and our leader, Frank Spuli, on being named the Polish Daily News 2025 Person of the Year. This award recognizes Frank's distinguished service as president of the Polish American Congress for 20 years, which is such a wonderful commitment and source of pride for all of us. The group is the county's largest Polish American fraternal organization, and over the years has had as many as 6 million members and followers. Only someone like Frank could possibly lead such a huge national organization and help it to thrive and grow. Here in Illinois, Frank has also dedicated his time to the Polish National Alliance, which is headquartered right here in the most beautiful city, America's city, Chicago, holding positions there at both the state and national level. His dedication to the Polish American people and to a free and sovereign Poland should be an inspiration to us all. He's given a voice to so many and worked to bridge Polish communities, state officials, and the leaders of Poland. I must also give a shout out to the Polish Daily News, Lucas and your leadership, which celebrated its 118th birthday last month. You look amazing for 118. Amazing, I'm not your secret. But founded in 1908, which for Sox fans here, that was the last time the Cubs won the World Series, before the last time they won the World Series. But founded in 1908, the paper is the oldest continuously published Polish language newspaper in the U.S., serving as the leading voice of Chicago's Polonia community for over a century. In today's media climate, where buyouts and layoffs are not uncommon, that is truly, truly amazing. Now, during COVID, do you remember this? When the Tribune and the Sun-Times newsrooms were shut down and everyone was working from home, we visited the Daily News, the Polish Daily News, and found the only functioning newsroom in Chicago. You never, ever quit. Well done. And again, yes. For the record, we were distance social. Broke no rules. Okay, but again, I really want to just express how happy I am to be here to celebrate the Daily News and the paper's 2025 Person of the Year, Frank Spuli. Although your term may be up in the Polish American Congress, I'm sure your work is far from done. We all look forward to seeing what the future holds for you. And I just want to say, Frank, that it has truly been my pleasure to see you in action over the years. I want to thank you on behalf of all of the people that I have the privilege and honor of representing on their behalf, for your leadership, for your commitment to community, for your pride in who you are and who you came from, right? I think Lucas made the point that you weren't born in Polonia, but your roots were. And I think that that's a beautiful thing that you hold near to your heart and everyone feels it. So Frank, dziękuję, dziękuję, dziękuję.
Thank you so much, Controller. Very much appreciate you being here. Ladies and gentlemen, please now let me call here to the podium out of Chicago's Alderman from 39th Ward, Mrs. Samantha Nugent. Alderman.
a lineup. Of course, I want to say good evening to all of my colleagues in government who are here, as well as the dignitaries that are here and all the guests in honor of our dear friend, Frank Spuli. What a privilege to be here tonight to honor you, Frank, and of course you are the person of the year, as you rightly should be. Your story is one of loyalty, Frank's heritage to his community and to Chicago itself. His leadership reflects the very best of our city, hard work, civic pride, and a dedication to lifting others up. Through his leadership of the Polish National Alliance, he ensured that one of Chicago's most historic fraternal organizations continued to serve families across our city. As national president of the Polish American Congress and roles in both radio and newspapers, he's preserved and elevated the voice of Chicago's vibrant Polish American community. His service has also extended far beyond cultural institutions. Frank answered the call to serve our city directly through appointments to key commissions and through ongoing leadership in the Edgeworth-Saguenash business community, the community where I am so grateful to serve as alderman. In every role, he has demonstrated a deep belief in Chicago's future and a steady commitment to success. As a token of our appreciation, I have submitted a resolution marking this occasion and memorializing Frank's service to our community into the official record of City Council. On behalf of the City of Chicago and of course the 39th Ward, thank you so much, Frank, and congratulations.
Alderman Samantha Nugent, thank you so much. He immortalized you in the city records. Awesome. Mr. Spula served as the president of Polish American Congress for 20 years, from 2005 to 2025, and now you called to the podium. I meant to replace him on that position, President of Polish American Congress, Mr. Hubert Choromski.
Maybe a little sentimental, but I have known Frank for most of my life. I have known Frank since we were kids. Our mentor, Al Mazeski, is common to us both. He was my father's attorney. He was Frank's mentor when it came to Polish National Alliance. We worked together. We were at the NATO celebration that Senator Durbin mentioned in Washington. We were there when we were aligned and Poland was brought into the NATO forces. Everybody said, great statesman, great person for Polish Americans, and he was. Frank had one different thing, and so did I. We both came from parents from Poland, born here. It makes a huge difference on how we view Polish people, Polonia, and diaspora of Poland. Frank had the uncanny ability and a big job because his predecessors in the position that I now am honored and humbled to take after him had a little bit more clear path because they were fighting for free Poland. Poland was under the World War II and the Nazi regime, and then the Russians and the communists and socialism. So there was a fight. Frank had a unique situation where he had to take over where a lot of Poland was now free and Poland was now growing. Poland became prosperous, as Senator Durbin again said. That was the toughest role because he had to gather all new Polonia, old Polonia, center Polonia, young Polonia, and that's where the talent came in. How many times I'd call him, he'd yell at me, I'd say something, I think we should do this, and Frank would say, no, we have to do it this way, but we always agreed in the end run. We had he has a distinct ability to bring together the factions of Polonia, which I hope that I can share and do for you, Frank, and keep in your honor the way you did. It's big shoes to fill. I've got a great Congress vice presidents here. The PAC is going to thrive, but the groundwork was set by your predecessors, and the real groundwork came from you, Frank. So thank you very much. And I have a little bit of a word. Frank, which not many people knew, we were actually neighbors at one time over the fence. And I watched him plant his flowers, tomatoes. I'd actually steal his tomatoes when he wasn't watching. But what do you get a gentleman that loves flowers? A vase. And so 2005 to 2025. I'm honored, I'm humbled, Frank, to take your role on here, and I'm not letting you go. I'm gonna call you every single day if I have to. So we're gonna work together, and thank you again, Frank, for all you've done for us.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will not let you sit, not yet. Please come back. Please come back, and almost 70% of executive committee, the National Executive Committee of Polish American Congress is actually here, so we could hold a meeting, right? But we decided not to instead, well, we have a quorum, yeah. So let me call right over here, Mrs. Agnieszka Baszczyk, National Treasurer of Polish American Congress. Joseph Nikolai Ray, Vice President for Membership Development. Alicja Kaczyńska, VP for Education. And Bożena Kamiński, Vice President for Cultural Affairs. And I will join them as a VP of Public Relations. And together we have another piece of hardware for Mrs. Spuli.
I'll read it. The Appreciation Award presented to President Frank J. Spuli in profound recognition, exceptional leadership, steadfast dedication, and devoted service to the Polish American Congress. Your vision, integrity, and unwavering commitment have strengthened this organization, honored to be proud heritage, and advanced its mission. With enduring gratitude and highest esteem, on behalf of the PAC executive officers, myself, President, I'm honored, Frank, to give you this award. You're going to get a lot more, though. Here we go.
Yes.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me call to the podium the editor-in-chief of Polish Daily News, the one and only Alicja Oda.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. Thank you all for joining us for this special event. First, I'd like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our gracious hosts, Consul General Mrs. Regina Jurkowska and her consular staff, for having us here. Thank you very much for your hospitality and all your help to make this celebration special. Dziękuję bardzo. Tonight, we gather together to congratulate and to honor Mr. Frank J. Spuli, Man of the Year 2025 of Polish Daily News, Dziennik Związkowy, and to celebrate 118 years of our newspaper being published and being of service to Polish readership. We are honoring Mr. Frank J. Spuli, Person of the Year 2025 of Polish Daily News, for decades of his selfless, exemplary, and effective service for Polish diaspora, and especially for 20 years of service in the office of the President of Polish American Congress, Kongres Polonii Amerykańskiej. Serving as a President of Polish American Congress has been a 20-year journey of a very hard work and many sacrifices. Mr. Spuli traveled extensively only for the cause and almost never for private and personal vacation. He met
with officials, politicians, wrote hundreds of letters on behalf of the Polish American Congress, and made countless difficult decisions, all in the best interest of the Polish diaspora, Poland, and Poles. During his service, Mr. Frank Spula exercised his unique personal ability, knowledge, and wisdom to reach out to the important people. He made an effort to build meaningful relationships and even friendships here in America and overseas in Poland. He created these important relationships with, regardless of their political affiliation. He told me that he is open to conservatives, liberals, and independents. Mr. Spula activism began in full swing in 1992 when he was elected the president of Illinois Division of Polish American Congress. During that time, he participated in efforts to help Poland to join NATO. And during that time, he organized candidates fora and voter registration drives so the Polish community could register to vote and could meet candidates for elected offices. He continued this important work as national president of Polish American Congress. Dziennik Związkowy Polish Daily News covered those events extensively and is still doing so, appealing to the Polish community to engage in democratic process. The newspaper agrees with Mr. Spula 100% that Polonia's voice can be heard by politicians only if Polonia votes, and that participation in elections is crucial and also important for relations between United States and Poland. The list of Mr. Spula's accomplishments and good deeds is long. Let's remember only the most important ones. During Mr. Spula's term as national president of Polish American Congress, Poland was included into the visa waiver program, and nearly $250,000 was raised for medical supplies to help Ukraine. And during his term at Polish American Congress, Mr. Spula in 2016 invited Donald Trump, at the time presidential candidate, to meet with the Polonia leaders, and it was the beginning of the special relationship with the current US president, who invited Mr. Spula to be a member of an official US delegation for inauguration of Polish President Mr. Karol Nawrocki. Right before Mr. Spula concluded his term at Polish American Congress, Mr. Spula sent a letter to President Trump asking for the legalization of undocumented immigrants who are hardworking, valuable members of the society. Dziennik Związkowy Polish Daily News covered these topics in its past editions and will continue to do so. It will continue to write about those issues important to the Polish community, important to Polish diaspora in Poland. And I'm asking Polish community to please keep reading and please supporting Dziennik Związkowy. I'd like to underscore that in edition dated March 5th, which is a week from tomorrow, there will be, March 6th, there will be an article about this event and also interview with Mr. Spula. So I encourage you, whoever reads in Polish, please read our newspaper. And like I said, the list of Mr. Spula accomplishments and good deeds is very long. So we are very thankful, Mr. Spula, for your service and support. You are a true patriot, Polish-American patriot, and a true leader. Again, I'm privileged to extend our congratulations. And also, I would like to wish you many more accomplishments in public and in your personal life, and also, of course, a good health. Thank you, Mr. Spula, for your service, and thank you, dear audience, to listening to me patiently. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dziękujemy bardzo. Alicia, editor-in-chief of Polish Daily News and commercial break by Polish Daily News especially. Next weekend, there's going to be a lengthy interview that Alicia did with Mr. Spula way before this event. I'm looking forward to reading it. Our penultimate speaker of the evening will be Mrs. Alicja Kuchlińska, National Secretary of Polish Daily News, somebody who spent countless hours in the same meeting room with Mr. Spula. And if you want to know someone, go to a meeting with them, lengthy one, and the truth comes out, right?
Most definitely, yes, but I'm not going to spill any beans tonight. Tonight's show is serious because I think the evening is serious. So, dobry wieczór Państwu, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guest of the Polish Daily News 2025 Person of the Year, Honorable President Spula. It is my great privilege to address you tonight on behalf of the Polish National Alliance. We are grateful that this evening takes place here in the consulate. It's like being in Poland. So thank you, Madam Consul. On May 28, 1944, more than 2,500 delegates from 28 states gathered for a 4-day convention to establish the Polish-American Congress. Kongres Polonii-Amerykański. Everything was in Polish then. World War I was coming to an end, yet Poland was once again losing her independence to the Soviet Union. At that painful and decisive moment, American Polonia understood that if Poland was to have a voice in the free world, they had to be that voice, and they were. Through fraternal organizations, churches, and other groups, the Polish-American Congress was born, but honestly, without the strength of the Polish National Alliance, the Congress would not have had the foundation it needed to stand. At that time, the PNA was the largest and most financially stable Polish organization in America. PNA President Charles Rozmarek became the first president of the Polish-American Congress. With him came not only the leadership, but structure, membership, credibility, and financial security. The PNA became the backbone of the PAC. PAC advocated, PNA supported with publications, travel, legal support, and operational infrastructure. In 1948, PAC organized $1 million fundraising drive for Poland. Of the 600,000 collected, in today's value, it is about $8 million. That's how much they collected then. The majority was designated to aid displaced persons and orphans, and the PAC treasury was left with $300,000, which is about, $4 million? The Polish-American Congress became a strong political force equipped with the financial and organizational resources to influence U.S. foreign policy and challenge the communist regime imposed on Poland. The Polish National Alliance was a principal source of that support. Through PAC efforts, Radio Free Europe, Radio Wolna Europa, Radio Wolna Europa became a window to the free world, broadcasting hope into an oppressed homeland with messages from then President Rozmarek and Director Jan Nowak-Jeziorański. Over the years, PAC advocacy helped shape American policy, contributing to nearly $600 million US credit and loans to Poland in the late 50s and 60s. Much of this political and influence effort was quietly supported by the Polish National Alliance, so all the funds raised from Polonia could go directly to Poland. PAC was the political voice. The PNA was its engine. Charles Rozmarek never saw a free Poland. In his farewell address, he said, The struggle for Poland truly free and independent will remain the most important order. That promise continued under President Mazewski, who rebuilt the PNA's financial strength while serving as PEC president, established strong presence in Washington, supported the Solidarity movement, worked closely with Pope John Paul II, and helped pave the road towards Poland's admission to NATO. In 1888, President Edward Moskal assumed leadership of both organizations and carried that mission forward. During his tenure, Poland regained sovereignty, held free elections, and in 1999 was admitted to NATO. Milestones that did not happen by accident. Tonight's Dziennik Związkowy honoree, Mr. Frank Spuli, stands in that line of organizational leadership. Long before becoming president of the PNA and PEC, he was already part of this history-making movement. In 2005, he stepped into leadership with courage, steadiness, and conviction. He understood that true strength is not loud, but steady. And like a soldier, he carried out his mission, unwavering commitment, often at the sacrifice of his private life. He built meaningful relationships with United States leaders from both Democratic and Republican parties. He worked closely with officials in Poland during his term, and through PEC persistent efforts, Poland was admitted in 2019 to the visa waiver program so long sought by the Polish community. From the first days of Russian invasion of Ukraine, President Spuli mobilized immediate support, launching fundraising efforts through PNA resources, most notably Radio 103.5 FM and the Polish Daily News, rallying our community in defense of freedom. He fearlessly defended the integrity and independence of the Polish-American Congress. He consistently supported civic engagement and the democratic process, ardently encouraging participation in elections. He made connections and formed friendships that strengthened our Polish-American community. President Spuli is a humble man. He respects people regardless of their background or status. He is kind, he's got a kind heart, and has readiness to help without hesitation. He carries deep knowledge and priceless memories. Mr. President, we are waiting for those memoirs. Now you're going to have a little extra time, perhaps. As president of the Polish National Alliance, he is my leader. To me personally, he's also a mentor and a friend. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. With the passing of the PEC torch to President Hubert Jaromski, who is also a PNA member, a new chapter begins. But the foundation of the Congress remains strong and unshaken. We move forward with confidence and purpose. On behalf of the Polish National Alliance, thank you, President Spuli, for your years of dedication, for your leadership, for your service to the Polish-American community. We wish you good health, strength, and continued success. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention. Dziękuję bardzo. Congratulations. President Jaromski provided Mr. Spuli with a nice glass. I have flowers to go with it.
Thank you so much. Alicja Kupińska, big round of applause. National Secretary of the Polish National Alliance. So, Person of the Year receives not just the title, we also give him or her a token, a memoir, some memorabilia that he or she can place probably on the wall and have a little reminder about this title. So now is the time, ladies and gentlemen. Let me invite here Alicja Ota,
the editor-in-chief of Polish Daily News, and let me invite Madam Consul Regina Jurkowska to officially present the title of Polish Daily News Person of the Year 2025 to Mr. Frank Spuli. Hubert, Alicia, Senator, please join us for the photo. Madam Treasurer, Controller,
General Manager of the Polish Daily News, Łukasz Dudka.
Thank you so much. One more big round of applause for Frankowi Spuli, Polish Daily News Person of the Year 2025. And now, for the first time, as Polish Daily News Person of the Year, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Frank Spuli.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dudka. I don't know where to begin. You know, I'm so happy to see so many people here. People that give me advice, that support me, and even fix my pants. I take care of the static on my trousers, so that's very good. Listen to all this here today. It sounds like a eulogy. I've heard all these things here this afternoon or this evening, but you know something? I'm here to say and comment on all these comments, so I want to say thank you. On a serious note, I just want to extend my gratitude to the Consul General, Regina Jurkowska, for opening these doors. We've heard that before, but I sincerely mean that, because this is really a place where we feel Poland. As Secretary Kuzminska said, this is part of Poland. You feel like in Poland here. All these acolytes here about me feeling Polish. Darn right I do. I actually do. And when I come here, I have the utmost respect for the Polish government, because it's part of our country. It's part of our fiber. It makes us up. And that's what it is. So, you know, I think this is a historical place. This is a historic edifice for us to respect and be proud of. I am proud that I'm a Polish American, just like every one of us. Whether we're Hispanic, Greek, or Afro-American, we're proud of ourselves, aren't we? Yep. I think we are. Every one of us, wherever the heck we came from, Ukrainian community, we're all one, guys. That's all I can tell you. I'm deeply moved that we got this honor, that I'm being named Person of the Year by the Polish Daily News. You know, this recognition means more than I can fully express, and especially by listening to all these accolades here today. It's not only because it comes from the oldest publication, but it reflects the spirit of our community. For over 118 years, it provides service for us as a community to all the folks that when they came here, this was a source of communication. They didn't have cell phones, they didn't have phones. They used the newspaper as a medium. And you know, this paper for 100 years has existed. So I want to congratulate you, Mr. Dudka, the editor, and your staff for a great job. Thank you. The general manager, Mr. Dudka, said one thing. Once I learned of this recognition, I was very reluctant to accept it, extremely reluctant. But once I accepted it, after reflecting on this whole issue, I started to think, where did the time go by? Especially when I heard the 20 years, and then I heard 50 years. And really, I just don't like to hear those numbers because it makes me sound old. But nonetheless, I'm just trying to reflect, where the heck did the time go by? But you know something? It's a simple conclusion. When you're busy and you enjoy what you're doing, time and life just slip away, like a good chapter in a book. When you're reading a good book, you don't even know when you finish reading it. It goes so quickly. Same thing with working for an organization. You have to have a passion for it. If you don't have a passion for it, you're not going to succeed. That's what I'm going to tell you. You have to have that drive. Sometimes you can be tired, like I said before. You know, you give up your own private life. You actually do. You actually do. You give up a private life, and it's a drive that you have to have. You don't regret it because you really enjoy doing it. If it wasn't through the Polish National Alliance, the largest ethnic benefit society, that's how I got involved in this community. If it wasn't for the P&A, guys, I would not be involved in the Polish American Congress. It was like a door opener. I never imagined where the road this journey would lead. What I did learn at the very beginning was that our community's strength comes from its people. You, ladies and gentlemen, you are the power, our shared heritage, our resilience and commitment to causes. That spirit, you know what it is? I can and I will. Do we hear it? I can and I will. And that's what we have to do. We're determined. You know, Senator Durbin made some remarks, and I appreciate you, Senator, for being here, coming right from Washington, D.C. You know, you mentioned that we're friends. You're darn right we are. We supported you, and you're a friend of the ethnic community, of the Polish community, Ukrainian, Black community, all our communities. We live in a mosaic, and you need to be universal in order to get anything accomplished. And it was just the editor said nonpartisan. You're right, I am nonpartisan. I deal with everybody. Whether you're for one side, I'm sorry, deal with everybody. You have to be, in order to get things accomplished, you have to be on both sides of the aisle. So again, thank you, Senator, for your presence and your kind words. Thank you. Dziękuję. A little bit about me, you're right. I don't get very personal with people. I always have a wall. Yeah, that's true. I do. Unless you get to know me, then I can talk a little bit about going up to Baptist churches, what I do, how I'm treated. I could share that with you. That I love cars, yes, I do love cars. Ever since I was 6, 7 years old. I admit that. I just love it. And I love music as well. I used to be, and I'll share this with you. I used to play professionally. When I was about 7, 8 years old, and I hated to play. But my father wanted me to be a professional. And instead of playing baseball, you know what I was doing? Practicing the accordion. But you know, as I got older, that really helped pay for school books and pay for my, you know what, cars and going out. And actually did. So I used to work on weekends, and I probably made more money over weekends than people do in a month, earn in a month. So again, I've been very blessed. You know, I'll tell you what, I was born in Chicago from immigrant parents, as you said earlier. My father was an immigrant, my mother was an American. She was a foreigner. My grandparents were married here at St. John, Kansas. From the very beginning, though, Polish language was, traditions and cultures were really part of our lives, part of my brother's and my life. I was always very proud to be Polish, though not everybody thought it was something to be proud of. I was often bullied in school, often bullied. That I was, you know what? That I was Polish. And I had to defend myself. And I sometimes felt that my own teachers sided with the aggressors than in believing me. Simply because of my ethnic background. I almost got kicked out of school because I hit a kid with a T-square. He called me a dumb Polak, and he called my mother a beet farmer and my father a pig farmer. And I just turned around, hit the young man with that T-square, and it broke. The teacher at the wall pressed the button. Francis, you go down to the principal's office immediately. Going down to the principal's office, I'm 14 years old. So I'm scared, of course I'm scared. And the principal of the school was a priest. And he says to me, he says, young man, I heard you wanted to kill a man. You attacked the man. I says, I didn't attack anybody. He attacked me. He called me a dumb Polak, and I'm not, for one. And I says, my mother was not a beef farmer, and my father doesn't raise pigs. And he's looking at me. He says, so what the hell? I didn't know what to say. I was looking. He says, you can be thrown out of school for this. And I said, yes, I can. And it was 1 to 3 on Friday. So I get home, and I go home, I'm scared. Of course I'm scared. I'm thrown out. What do I do? 14 years old. So nonetheless, I come home, my mother says, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I said, I might get kicked out of school. He says, for what? For hitting this kid. What did you hit him for? Because he called you a beet farmer, and he called me a dumb Polak. And he called Daddy so-and-so. He says, man, what are you going to do? It's so embarrassing if you get kicked out of school. My father comes home. He's more practical. He comes home, and he says, what happened? And I says, I hit a kid. For what? And I says, he called me a dumb Polak and all this crap. I all this stuff. And then he says, you should have hit him a long time ago. How will you talk to him? What a bad example you're setting for him. What's going to happen? I said, the principal wants to see me at 7:30 in the morning. So my father gave me an education in history. He says, during the Second World War, prior to the Second World War, the Nazis were killing so many Jews and so many Poles for no reason at all. He gave me the whole history. I got a history lesson from my father. He was very learned when it came to history and geography. And though he wasn't very educated, he was a very smart guy, smart man. So I come in on Monday morning to the school, and he said, young man, did you have time to reflect on your actions? And I says, yes, I did, Father. The more I thought about it, the angrier I became. And this guy took his glasses off, and he says, I can't believe you're saying that. And he said, and I gave him the story my father gave. And he said, what do you think this man was doing? And everybody was a man, there were no boys in school, they were all men. And he said, what do you think he was doing? And I said, he didn't like Poles. Maybe he was a Nazi. Maybe his parents were Nazis. And those are strong terms, Nazi. But I didn't know what a Nazi was at that time. I didn't know the specifics of it. And he said, what are you going to do if I get kicked out of school? I said, I'll have to go to Lang Tac. And he said, and he didn't know what to say on that either. He said, you have to be like Christ. He says, you have to turn your cheek. And my comment was, but I'm not Jesus Christ, Father. And this guy was blown out when I said that to him. And I said that, I'm not Jesus Christ. He says, young man, you have to learn how to be. I don't remember all the words he used. It was above my head. It was above my pay level. Nonetheless, got through it. And he says, you know, young man, I'm not going to kick you out of school. I'm going to let you go because I appreciate it. And I says, Father, I think you're Polish. How would you like if your colleagues called you a dumb? Well, how would you react? What would you do? Didn't say a word. I all the right questions. Should have been an attorney, Chris, shouldn't I? But nonetheless, didn't do anything. So on Friday we had a big mass because every Friday there was a mass. 2,000 kids in school, and he says, gentlemen, I had a very unpleasant situation that occurred to me earlier this week. I had a man come in that he was being attacked by his nationality, that he was Polish. And he says, if this ever happens again, I don't care if you're Mexican, because there were no Latinos back then, there were Mexicans. If you're Greek or anything else, I'm going to make an example of you on the floor. And you know, this guy would have done so. And nonetheless, I stayed in school and I graduated from there. But again, it was tough. I could sense the problem because I felt the discrimination as a young kid. I often witnessed firsthand the struggles that American families had, whether they were Polish or Mexicans. They had a problem. They did have a problem because you were looked down upon either with your accent or the way you looked or the way you dressed. And they were immigrants because they spoke differently with the accents. And that's why those challenges or these things really inspired me to get involved. It really did. That was like an eye-opener. And I'll share this one other thing. When I was in college, I wrote a white paper against the police society. And I'm not going to tell you what exactly was in that paper, but they thought it was a militant group that actually wrote that paper. And it wasn't. It was Frankowi Spuli that wrote it. I saw the problems that the minorities had, whether they were black, Mexican, whatever. They all had the same problem. There was no difference. You know, my parents always underscored the importance of patriotism, both here in the United States and Poland. If they were alive, I'm certain they would be proud of some of my accomplishments. At the beginning, as PAC president, I had the honor of being at the White House. I actually had the honor of being at the White House, and I've always tried my duty to protect our heritage and be advocate for our people. Having breakfast with congressmen, some senators, Senator Durbin, thank you. I'm talking about you. And you know, recently, of August of this past year, yeah, I was delegated. I was honored to be traveling on part of the official delegation of the United States to represent or be at the Poland's inauguration of President Nawrocki. Whether it was welcoming a president to our office, advocating for visa waiver, or strengthening the security ties, or representing Congress on grounds in Poland, I didn't carry my own name, I carried that of the organization. It was the organization that was prominent. Along the way, I did develop friendships and strengthen our community and helped us achieve goals together. As president, I made it a priority to develop relationships in the United States and with Poland on a local and state and federal level. In this way, in a way, Thank you, that's a $10 fine, you know? In a way, the award this evening reflects not my work. $20 now, $20. Get the money right here, we'll make it for an educational cause. Oh my God, I don't believe it. Let's get it up here. Okay. But, I'm sorry? Oh, I love music, but this is a formal event here. You know, I'll tell you, this award, as I started saying, reflects not my work, but the dedication and countless volunteers that I've had the pleasure of working over the years, and who believed in the mission of the Polish American Congress. And you know what they did? They gave their time, cards, and resources for something better. Whether it was for the initiation with the displaced persons back in the 50s, the NATO alliance, getting into NATO, visa waiver, it's always been that. They were all volunteers. And you know something? I'm rather blessed. Somebody said this is my family here. You're right, you are like my family, every one of you.
Thank you.
You are one of my family, and I'm so proud of that. I'm proud of that because, you know why? We're all successful in our own way, whether it be teaching, practicing law, being physicians, or being leaders in our community. And I care less whether you're Polish, or you're Latino, or Greek, or Italian, or Black. I don't care. We're all one, guys. And we need to be all together in order to achieve anything. We really have to be together and work for one cause. Because if we don't, guys, it's not going to work. So, you know, when I see these volunteers, and some of my people, I don't want to say people, some of the individuals that I work with are here tonight. And you know something? I like to have them just raise their hand. Who was here when I was started back in 92, 93? Come on. Anna Wiesbicki, Bogdan Olejniczak, Anna Marian Salmo, Penar, Richard, come on. Richard used to work for Congressman Buczynski's office for years. And you know, that's how we got all involved. And we've known each other for decades here. The torch of leadership, no doubt, has been passed. It's been passed. And I want to congratulate the PEC president, Hubert Chomsky, and his whole new board for carrying forward a mission of the Polish American Congress. You know, I'm glad to see we have somebody from Florida and New York. Bożena Kamiński flew in specially just to be here. Bożena, I thank you. Her husband, she left behind. And we also have Joe Ray from Buffalo, New York. Thank you, Joe, for coming here, Vice President as well. And you, ladies and gentlemen, you know, I see my friend, Dr. Wilson. You know, I see him. He's down. You know, when I go to Dr. Wilson's church, man, I feel like a brother. I really do. I feel so welcome there. I feel right at home. And I think every one of us should feel the same way. That's how I feel in this particular home, with the Consul General opening the door for us. So I do feel at home. Naprawdę dziękuję. W imieniu osobistej, w imieniu całej organizacji. Dziękuję Pani bardzo. I will remain committed to the support of PAC, involved in the community, however, in different ways. My message, however, remains unchanged. Our strength lies in standing together as a community. Our work is never done, guys, never done. It's like the senator said, you've got all these organizations, and you know something? Everybody's got a different idea, and then you got to bring these all together, and that's the job. That's why I applaud the senator for lasting all these years. Lasting, and I mean lasting, because it's a lot of, you have to have a tough skin. Tough skin, you gotta let the sweat roll off your back. Once again, I want to thank the Polish Daily News for this honor, the Polish National Alliance for being the foundation of the Polish American Congress, and the officers and the volunteers for their efforts, and you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here and acknowledging 20 years of my service. If it wasn't for the volunteers, I did not do this alone. I know, absolutely not. If I didn't have great people working with me, we wouldn't have achieved half the items that we did. So I want to say, dziękuję wszystkim, co pomagali. And that means thank you for everybody that was involved. And once again, dziękuję i życzę miłego wieczoru. Spokojnie.
Sola
say this is one of the nicest eulogies I've ever heard. That's all I can say, man. It was all good. And when we talked about different ethnicity, we are Secretary of States. We talked about our Greek communities, and we have a great relationship. Tonight I had a phone call about working together with some networking for political candidates. So Alexei Giannoulias has been a friend of ours for years. Not as long as the senator, though. He's got seniority over you, Alexei, or Mr. Secretary of State. But nonetheless, I want to say thank you for coming here and gracing us with your presence. No, it's an honor to have you. And I will turn this over to our MC, Mr. Dudka.
Thank you so much. And I will quickly turn it over to Alexei Giannoulias, the Illinois Secretary of State.
Senator Durbin, elected officials, my great friend Hubert, congratulations and good luck. Thank you for your leadership. Madam Council General, everyone who's here. I'm going to be very brief. There are a lot of speakers. I have a proclamation from the state of Illinois. I will not bore you by reading the whole thing, but this is my gift to you. It's a gift from the people of Illinois to you for your leadership. Frank Spuli to me represents not just the best of Chicago, but the very best of America. You have been my friend for a number of years. You have been a friend to all of us. And I will tell you, there are few communities that represent the American spirit better and more thoroughly than the Polish community, who stand up for three things more than anything else. Number one, loyalty. I've never seen a community that's so loyal to each other, that helps each other's businesses, that is there for each other, that helps boost everyone's family up together. The second is the love of family. This community puts family above all else. I see it when we go to events, we travel throughout the city, throughout the state. The Polish community is all about family. And last, work ethic. Nobody works harder than the Polish community. You've given so much to the city, to the state of Illinois, to this country, and you are the leader of this community. You represent the very best of the very best. I'm honored to call you my friend. I know you're going to spend some time listening to jazz and checking out your classic cars. But thank you for your friendship. Thank you for all that you've done as a citizen, as a leader. I hope that we continue to be friends for a very long time. And I'm honored to present you this proclamation. So let's have a loud round of applause.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. And the final award, beautiful bouquet of flowers from the Polish-American Congress Illinois Division. Let me invite to the podium Jolanta Grochowska, President of the PEC Illinois Division.
Mr. Spula, I only want to say a few words. Thank you very much for your leadership, for your love to Poland and to Illinois. Thank you all so much.
Yes. I need a bigger vase, Hubert. A little better, but I appreciate it's the thought that counts. It's the thought that counts. It's not how big it is, it's how the thought that counts. Very good. So I want to say thank you. And Mrs. Grochowska, the new president of the Illinois Division, she's like the national president now. But in my beginnings, there a number of years ago, as Mrs. Oakland, and that was, I'll tell you what, it was a learning experience because you deal with people, as the senator said, you got all these people, man, and everybody's got their own ideas, and you gotta blend it together, man, like a good cake. Blend all the ingredients, bring the flour, blend the flour, the butter, and the eggs, and whatever ingredients you put in. So I want to say thank you and congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Frank Spuli, Polish Union's 2025 Person of the Year. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Big round of applause to Mr. Spuli once again. And let me thank everybody who made this evening so special. Let me start with Consul General Wręczenie entire staff, super friendly people. I saw nothing but smiles. And can we do that? Yes, we can. So thank you so much for the entire staff of the council. We are indeed in Poland. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to Polish National Alliance, great partner. Thank you for the WPNA 103.1 FM. And thank you to Montrose Deli. They're on my speed dial because anytime I have to do any kind of event and I eat delicious, great looking food, I call Montrose Deli. They do an awesome job. You're just about to find out what magic they did, what treats they have ready for you. So thank you, Montrose Deli. Thank you for you, friends, and congratulations once again, Mr. Principal.